What's up, guys? Nightingale here, and welcome back to the Adventurer's Black Book. Today, we're covering Golem one-shot. Yeah, this hunt exists. Okay, but before we get started, I do want to say this. If you have not watched this video right here, Intro to One-Shot Comps, please pause the video and watch it first. Is this going to cover general information that I'm not covering here in this video? Because this video is more about the actual hunt, where this is about general purpose of one-shot comps. So watch that, pause the video, and I will see you right back here. Cool. Okay, welcome back. Now, let's talk about the one-shot for Golem 13. Yes, there are reasons to farm Golem 13, and we're going to help you be able to one-shot it really easily. So, with a few minor tweaks of some units, you can really make this pretty easy, good-to-go hunt. So we're going to start with the slowest unit and work our way up to the fastest unit. So in this case, we're going to start with Sermia. Now, Sermia is using my best rage set and crit rate set for where she needs to be. Now, in this case, we are going to be using her on a plus 30 Daydream Joker, and then it is actually important to note that you will want to have the decreased skill cooldown of Hot Streak here, with the 14% attack. Now, this is normally actually for Katie's 13, but this also will apply here. She will come out in front, which you'll see here in a minute. Now, her stats right now are sitting at 4,845 attack. She's 124 speed. Now, this is mostly for Katie's 13. She can actually be slower here, which would save you from needing Hot Streak, but in this case, Hot Streak is actually, this exclusive equipment is going to help out because of the speed RNG here. So the speed here is for Katie's 13. Yours can be slower, which will slightly change how your build works. She needs 100% crit chance for Katie's 13, but here she only needs 85%. So if you're just farming this, you only need 85% crit chance. And then crit damage comes in at 310 with 33 effectiveness. For the small chance that you need to land an unhealable, which you shouldn't. If you need an unhealable, you're performing the hunt wrong. So let's talk about her skills and why and what is needed here. So if you're starting your Sermia from ground up for this, and for whatever reason you're wanting to mola her before you have her build, you will technically need to calculate the S1 damage and the S3 damage. And what I mean by that is because Roz is going to be pulling her in with her S1, and their S3 is what's actually here for the big kill. But for most things, you just need the S3 molled up all the way for the maximum amount of damage, especially for Katie's 13. In this case, for Golem, you can it's almost 50-50 between how much damage these two will do on their own. And then if you need the extra damage, it definitely will come from here, because this skill will go first, and then S3 will go next. So depending on where you're at and how your build's going, you will need to figure this out. You will not need the cooldown here, but again, I do recommend that you 15 this unit, because you will want to use her eventually in Hall of Trials or other things where this will actually play out to be a lot better. So let's move on to the next fastest unit, which is actually Adventurer Roz. Now, this build really is not much different than my PvP build, other than the fact I just slapped some HP % boots on him to slow him down. Reason being is because I needed to play with their speed RNG a little bit, because I don't want the weird case scenario of Roz to go, or Vivian to go before Roz. Roz needs to go first, and in this case, I've switched it because of how they're going to work, which we'll show you in the hunt. So he's basically here for a sponge in his S2. So stats really don't matter, just make him tanky enough. Mine's got 1900 defense and 24,000 HP. And 163 speed, and I'll show you why this is important here in a few minutes. Now we're gonna go into the next fastest unit, which is Vivian. Vivian comes in at 178 speed. So now I will explain why I wanted their speeds different. So now with Vivian going first, she's going to get rid of her greater attack buff. So it will guarantee that Sermia will go next when she pulls in. So Vivian also will need a Caladra to kill wave 1. I couldn't get it to work and get everything to function properly without putting Caladra on her, so Caladra was the kind of like the golden ticket here. The other thing that you may notice is, if you've watched any of the other videos, you will see that Vivian is a lot higher attack and a lot slower due to the fact of me popping in this boot right here so that I could get her in a better speed place. So with this, Vivian's now at 4,192 attack. This is just because I picked an attack percent boot. Mine as well, gain extra damage. She's at 178 speed, which is fine. 90% crit chance, which is okay. I'm willing to take that 10% gamble here. And then she's at 315 crit damage. As far as her skills go, really she's just a normal general purpose Vivian. Mine's built a little bit differently because of what I'm doing. I kind of have to avoid the combat readiness push, so that's why this isn't rolled as much, because I don't have the spare gear to make this happen. But the big important thing that you will need here is Thunder God's Cry will need to be maxed out so that you can more efficiently one-shot the first wave. Now, you should just because it's, you know, good practice, you want this to cycle as much as possible, go ahead and mola this as you can, to keep that up as much as possible. Then the next fastest unit, please don't laugh, this is actually quite humorous, is Leo. Leo has also been slightly tuned compared to other hunts, and the big thing that you might be noticing is his sword is gone. Correct. He is too fast if I leave the sword on him. So in order to make this hunt work, I have to take off his sword. Normally he's 135 speed, and if you were to reforge all this crap, it's like 145 speed. So you can see that I have a speed issue here with how things are going. But this fixes it, and we're good to go. So just by me taking off the sword, we're good. But he's at 194 speed, which is fine because now he's slower. Now he's more in tune with everybody else. And his effectiveness still is at 107 effectiveness, even without his imprint, because we are going to be using his attack percent imprint. As far as molas go, on Leo, I will say this in every video. As you can see right here, the one thing that should not be in this Leo is that. Yeah, I rushed my Leo. Please friendship 10 your Leo first, because you only need to go to +4 on his S3. At this point, if I decide to use him somewhere else for whatever reason, I have the extra skill points, but I will never get this refund back, because all you need for Leo is the +4 to get the 100% defense break here. So that's definitely advantageous for you to do that. Okay, so also he will need Song of Stars just to help make this a lot easier with over damage. You can technically build this up, especially with kind of what we've got. This might be overkill, but I like to be safe and have, you know, redundancies. So let's jump in and show off the run. Okay, I had a phone call in the middle of this, so I had to stop the video. Okay, so we're gonna start over. We're going to jump in and kind of explain this and the turn order of everything that we need here. So I will show you the bar, the combat readiness right here. So we're going to have Leo, Vivian, and then little dude in the back, which is fine. Not an issue whatsoever here. So they're going to go ahead and take their turn. We got a couple stuns. Great. Not an issue. Destruction. Vivian will take her S3 at this point, giving everybody immunity and attack buff. She will get greater attack buff. Roz will go off and give the defense break, or the defense buff. Not that we need it, but it is there to be super, super protected. And now you see that Sermia is now here up in front. Now, normally in one-shots, you're probably going, well, I don't want my big damaging unit to take the biggest skill away. Don't worry. That's why we have her exclusive equipment. So now she's going to attack a random enemy, which should be type advantage in this case. So she's going to kill one of the turtles. Fine, great, perfect. And now Vivian's going to use her S3, or her S2, and it should finish off these two guys here. There we go. Easy enough. Pretty close, but it goes through. So slightly better stats would ensure that this is going to happen, but this is a gamble well worth taking. Okay, now the setup. If we get 15%ed, game over, we need to start up the hunt again. So really, I think the real only lose condition here is, at this point, the lose condition is the defense break failing at this point. So Leo, do your job. And we got the defense break and the target, game over. This thing is good to go. So Vivian will come in, use her S3 or her S1, which will take her off of greater attack buff. Now, Roz will bring in Sermia at this point, because she's still attack buff, and we smack it pretty darn hard, which is fine. Now, at this point, we're golden. So now, here's why I said it's not a big issue. Because she now has her S2, we now can reset the S3, and now we have a very, very dead Colossus. So now with greater attack buff coming in, she is going to absolutely decimate this thing for 105,000 damage. So you can see we really don't need any damage other than just getting past wave 1, because she can do it all by herself. And there we go. So that is Golem one-shot in a nutshell. Now, as far as my final thoughts, here's the thing. This hunt is quite annoying to do normally, so if you have a Sermia, this definitely makes your life a lot easier because of the unhealable that she can apply, so definitely having effectiveness on her. But in this case, for one-shots, this is really for if you're really trying to grind something out. I wouldn't recommend you doing this right away. But if you have the units, as you can see, most of the units are used in other hunts, so might as well go in and set up your Golem one-shot as well. You know, there are advantages to attack sets, HP sets, and defense sets. So depending on what you're after, this can help out the long grind. And especially during hunt buffs, you can get it to super, super efficient. This is a fairly high success rate team. So you shouldn't have to worry about failures too much. Really, the defense break, I mean, at this point, you just need it looks like you just need a debuff. I could try doing this later with some targets, but I don't want to burn all my energy today on trying to cycle this over and over. But I think you can get away with just doing a debuff at this point. With how hard that Sermia is hitting, you should be able to just debuff this thing, and it's good to go. So if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bonus content. I'm going to give you 2 of the best reasons why you want to spend 900 Skystones and use her instead of Sermia. Okay, jokes aside though. 900 Skystone unit that can do Golem one-shot really easily. We're going to use a level 30 Daydream Joker. She has her 14% exclusive equipment. The specific one doesn't matter for this. And according to Fribbles, this is the best possible combination for her using my best rage sets. She comes in at 4,727 attack, 113 speed, which is fine, 85% crit chance because we have type advantage, and 318 crit damage. That's a lot of crit damage. And 74% effectiveness. Most of that's due to her self-imprint. Now, again, she's a side story character, so very easy to obtain. I started mulling her out a while back. The thing with Cirilla is you're going to need her S3 and her S1 is what you actually need for the hunt. But I have her S2 maxed out because I was using her in Hall of Trials for one of the days, which worked out pretty well. So that's why I finished off her S2 first. But if you're going to be doing the hunt and you're going to be building around her, maxing her S1 and her S3, that will be advised just because you're going to have Roz pulling her for her S1, and then the S3 is what actually is for the kill. So judge your damage based off of those 2 skills here. Eventually, I will get around to doing this, but I have the damage baked in just overall with the quality of the gear that I don't have to do this right now. So let's go in and blow this up with Cirilla. So we're just going to leave it on auto. But yeah, she costs 900 Skystones. You farm her side story out. You buy all the copies of her. You get them through rewards. I think a few is in the shop. And then you save the copies and you use those copies to imprint her as well as to 5- and 6-star her. So keep that in mind when you are leveling her up. You've got a lot of the work done for free, basically. So use those, get her leveled up, and she's really, really, really good for being able to do this. So you see Vivian's cleaning this up really easily. And now I believe the attack should still be the difference to where it'll pull Cirilla over. Hey, we got the defense and the target, so it's going to go through. Vivian goes through, does her thing. Cirilla gives an extra attack. Oh, we might kill this with just with Cirilla right here. That extra attack may actually break this. Let's see. Does it? Nope, we don't. Okay, game over. It's not often I see the extra attack. And as you can see, we way overkilled it. So there you go there. And we got the legendary drop Really? What a video. Oh yeah, so there you go. There's the bonus content. Again, it's just another, I just wanted to throw this out here as an option for those of you. And we get a hunt. Dang, this was one heck of a run. So yeah, there you go. There is Golem one-shot with Cirilla. Obviously, you may not get that extra attack, but she will kill it, as you can see, just between the S1 and the S3. She's guaranteed to absolutely nuke this thing. So there's you a backup option to Sermia.